I was very confident in saying before, and in my head more so, I think, because you don't want to say, oh, the Padres are going to win the World Series. But after the Dodgers beat them, I was very confident in saying the winner of that Padres-Dodgers series was going to win it all. And that's why it's hard, because the Dodgers ended up winning it, but the Padres were one game away from winning that series. And like I said, I mean, I'm pretty still set on that. And it's still lining up to be true. The winner of the Padres and Dodgers was going to win the World Series. It's super obvious and it's super clear that the best two teams in the postseason bracket in Major League Baseball played in the division series against each other. The Padres and the Dodgers were by far the best two teams in all of baseball coming into the 2024 playoffs. As you rank it now, and as you look at it, based on what we see from the Dodgers and how their offense performs and the insane nature of their bullpen, I would put the Dodgers as probably the best team coming into the playoffs. Padres at 2. Honestly, probably the Phillies at 3, and then the Yankees at 4. The Mets aren't a top 4 team, even though they made it to the Final Four. They're probably the 5th or 6th best team coming into this postseason. But they got hot, and that's the nature of baseball, and that's how they ended up getting to the championship series. But I was pretty confident in saying before, during, and after the Dodgers and Padres matchup in the division series that the winner of that series is going to win the World Series. And I still stick by that. Still confident in that prediction. I knew the Dodgers ultimately wouldn't have a problem with the Mets. And I knew that once they beat the Padres, nobody's going to beat them. And they get home field advantage against the Yankees. The Yankees are respectable. The Yankees are a formidable opponent. But ultimately, the Dodgers will probably beat them in 5 or 6. And the winner of that Padres-Dodgers series, not only were the two best teams matching up, but like I said, the extracurricular, all the stuff going on, and the literal victory in winning the series, but also the moral victory and the momentum that carries for either team. It's like we just went through the gauntlet and played our probably toughest opponent of the whole postseason, and we beat them. So nobody's beating us the rest of the way. And I still stick by that. I think those are the two best teams coming into it, the Padres and the Dodgers. Ultimately, the Dodgers bullpen prevailed. The Padres bats went cold, and that's how we got there. For me, the reason I didn't record too is, like I said, I would have recorded after the division series when the Padres lost, but I needed some time. Again, it sounds stupid, but it was tough. It was just a tough way to go out. For the Padres to not score for 24 consecutive innings to end the season. The Dodgers bullpen is outstanding. There's no question about that. Their entire pitching staff is very good, and we've seen it over and over again. And we'll get to that, Dodgers stuff here in a second. But it was tough, man. It was tough. And I think the way the Padres roster was assembled not just the way it was assembled, the way the team was assembled combined with all of the intangibles that you can sort of put into the mix of teams that have deep postseason runs. It's teams that don't strike out a lot. It's teams that have really good starting pitching and really good bullpen. And, teams that also seemingly are very unselfish and have timely hitting. It's like the Padres had all of that in the regular season. They had all that in the first 4 games of the postseason, first 5 games of the postseason. And then they went flat. The Dodgers used the bullpen game in game 4, like I said, and they lined it up perfectly. They had just enough, with the lefties and the righties and the lanes that they could put those guys into with the 3-batter minimum. And then, once the Dodgers kind of got up in game 4, they never looked back. And again, the timely hitting and the depth of their lineup is just insane. But it was tough. It was tough for me, tough for most Padre fans to move on from that. It's still pretty tough. I guess if there's anything to take away, it's that, man, like, listen, we lost, but we lost to the best team, by far the best team. And they're going to I knew they were going to beat the Mets. No, they're going to beat the Yankees. And so it'll be an entertaining World Series, but ultimately I think Dodgers in 5.